Hey guys, welcome back to my shop. So I posted my first video and I did some editing and I realized that I hate editing videos. It's not my thing, I'm really not into it, and I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. So what I'm going to do is just post raw videos, because fuck it, that's me anyway. I'm pretty raw, real, and not edited. So yeah, maybe I'll throw some music in the background or something on the next couple ones. The music that was in my first video, even though the video was awful, the music is all original. So not only do I make shit with wood, but I make fucking beats, and they're usually pretty good. So pretty multi-talented dude, you know. Not to toot my own horn, but fucking beat, baby, because ain't nobody else gonna toot it for you. Anyway, had some thoughts today about woodworking, and what I wanted to share with the world is resawing. If you have a bandsaw, like this beast right here, my Craftsman 12-inch, it's only got 5 inches of resaw, but what that means is that most lumber you can cut down into more usable sizes and save money. So instead of buying pre-cut stuff, I get it if you don't have a bandsaw, and it's kind of sketchy resawing on a table saw. I wouldn't really advise it if you don't feel comfortable with it. I used to resaw with a table saw, and it'll freak you out if it catches funny, or you get that tight little pinch because you didn't realize the board had a bit of a warp to it, and now you're stuck with a 4-foot piece of wood that's trying to hurtle itself at you. I get it, it's a little freaky. But with a bandsaw, it's so much safer because what it does is the bandsaw itself pulls all the force into the table. So you can literally walk away from a cut if you had to, take your hands off it, take everything off it, and let it sit right there on the table as long as the piece was, centered. It's gravity, meaning, it's not going to tip one way or the other. And it'll sit there, and it won't jump, it won't bite, it won't freak out and shoot back at you and, make you pray to Jesus, please don't kill me, table saw. The bandsaw is your friend. And not only that, it's really fun. Again, shout out to this guy Cohen I met through Craigslist. He gave me an amazing deal on an old bandsaw that he had. He was upgrading to a serious beast of a saw, and I hope one day I get to go check it out, just because, man, I'm jelly, if I gotta say. It's the Grizzly. I think it's got 14 inches of resaw. It's a woodworker's dream. But until then, get what you can. Harbor Freight has a decent 14-inch saw. It's pretty much a clone of the Jet and Craftsman and Delta, and they're all the fucking same, man. It's a band with a motor and some wheels. Shit, that guy Matthias Wendell, I think that's how you say his name, Wendell. But anyway, he's a fucking genius. Check him out on YouTube if you don't already. If you're looking at a woodworking video like mine, more than likely you know who he is. The guy built a bandsaw that will cut telephone poles. I mean, it's that simple of a machine. Don't get caught up in brands. Don't get caught up in all that hype. Just try and find one on Craigslist, and really it will expand your woodworking if you don't already have one. If you have one, you know what the hell I'm talking about. They're amazing. But the other thought I had was us woodworkers, I know at least myself, we're always striving to make something so perfect and amazing and glorious. And while that's great, it takes away time. And time is money, and money is time. So if you spend 70 hours on one piece and you can only sell one piece, and nobody wants to spend a high price on anything. I mean, occasionally you can get what it's worth, but it's really tough to get what time you put into a piece back out of it, turning a profit. When you put, the hand-cut dovetails and all that, and sure, you can charge more for that kind of work, but the mainstream consumer doesn't give a shit. But if you like messing with wood, start looking outside your horizons of what you normally make. Like, I really like making those bandsaw boxes. I really might like making intricate stuff that takes forever to finish, and I like it, but it doesn't mean that it sells. What sells is stuff that's useful. So think about what you could do to do something useful. And not only are you going to be having a creation that you made in someone's house, on their counter or bathroom or whatever, it's going to be used every day, as opposed to a piece that's just looked at in a corner, maybe some huge fancy table that no one even wants to sit at because it's so nice. Make stuff that's useful. In a small amount of time, you can make a lot of stuff, like coat racks and coasters and all the tchotchke shit that people apparently love. I've had to reevaluate myself as a woodworker and not just strive for this perfect product of everything being just amazing, and just getting some product out there so that people can see the other stuff. Not everybody wants to drop $100 on a cutting board, even though you think it's the most beautiful thing in the world. Most people want to spend $5-10 and get some kind of neat thing that they can say, oh, look, it's handmade. And you can be the fucker that handmade it. And you can be the guy who pockets that $10. But if all you have is stuff that's like, artisanal and artisan quality and amazing keepsake pieces that are going to get passed down from generation to generation, not every fucking body's got $1,000 to spend at a craft show. So, what I'm learning as a woodworker is try and stay in a reasonable budget on your sales costs, like what you charge, and also your own time costs. Make sure that what you're charging for your wares and what you're putting into it, make sure you're coming out clean on the other end and not in debt trying to just have a hobby. Because it can get real expensive as a hobby. I mean, before you even make any money, generally you have to buy some tools, and it always seems like there's another tool that you need. But anyway, that's my rant for the evening. I'm going to keep adding more of these because it's super easy for me to do. I can't take the time away from making stuff and trying to create a social media empire if I'm always editing videos. So, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Hopefully people will start watching this shit, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, till next time. See ya. Peace.